Hello, everybody. Here is Olga from Costa Rica in English. Is anybody here? Hello, everybody. Here is Olga. Hear myself. OK. Patrice, c'est la vidéo pour les anglophones, s'il vous plaît. Happy New Year to everyone. What is this? I mean, guys, this is not the reading. This is not the live with the tarot readings. This is the live on the new moon and the solar eclipse in Capricorn on January 5th. I will announce later. I will make once per month, maybe, tarot cards reading with obligatory payment, symbolic, like $1, for example. Patrice, c'est pas en français. Je viens de faire en français il y a 2 heures. Ça, c'est pour les anglophones, s'il vous plaît. Je fais 3 vidéos, en russe, en anglais, en français, en anglais. So people, please check my schedules. I will announce regularly as soon as I prepare the video, like 2 days, 3 days in advance. Hi. Linda, I will announce. Well, I thought that there will be nobody in English. Finally, you're here. So I will make, you know, I always prepare videos in 3 languages. So in the morning, for me, morning, in Russian for those who are in Russia, because there's a lot of hours between me and Russia, big time difference. Then at around 2 p.m. for those who are in France. And late a little bit, I mean, I cannot adjust myself to everybody in English. So 3 different streamings, always, as for cards, as for analysis of transits in English, in 3 different languages, okay? Elenia from Greece. I remember the people from the last time. So today I will talk to you briefly about the solar eclipse and the new moon, and I will go. Patrice, c'est écrit, le titre est en anglais, donc c'est écrit dans le titre que c'est en anglais. On the 24th of January, it's my birthday, so I will go live this day 3 times in 3 languages for tarot and Lenormand readings for all, answers to your questions during 1 hour and a half maximum. The event will last for 48 hours. I mean, like, you have possibility you will have 2 days to ask me your question in exchange to obligatory symbolic contribution, $1 or more. But I will announce it. So today we're going to talk about astrology. Yes, I have my own channel for 2 years already. Yes, you are not very numerous. You are very few in English-speaking people who follow me, but still I have a couple of hundreds of views each time. I have a couple of 1,000 views in French. I don't know why. But imagine, I mean, I work in 3 languages. It's a lot of work for me. So hello to everybody once again. Happy New Year to everybody, 10 people. Okay. I hope that you celebrated the New Year Eve, 31st, New Year, Christmas and New Year, yes. You survived to the celebration, because us Russian, we will have the old New Year on the 13th of January, on the 7th, it's a Christmas. So look, I prepared a small text, okay, with the basic interpretations, with the interpretation of the basic aspects of the 2 weeks starting from the new moon in Capricorn, the solar eclipse, until the 20th of January, because we will have the second eclipse of this season, the lunar eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius. Okay, good evening. Oh my God, you're so there are a couple of people who would like to listen to me. Okay, my friends, I leave a Happy New Year. Yes, Sarah. Sarah, did you listen to the French version? No? So, look, I will talk about... D'accord, Patrice, et ça, c'est pour les Anglais, s'il vous plaît. Écrivez-moi un message privé, parce que je ne veux pas mélanger les langues. So, I prepared small text, okay? I will read. I will share with you the information that I prepared. I will hide with my text your comments, so because I cannot be distracted too much by your comments, but I will get back to the comments. I will try to answer, you know, comments, questions, original and unusual questions, something interesting, okay? So let me share with you, first of all, what I prepared. So I'm covering the comments, but I will get back to you later. So we started 2019 from astrological point of view in a very special environment, very special energies. The year 2019 started with what? With the ingression of Mars from the sign of Pisces, which is too inert, too relaxed, too not focused enough for the fiery planet Mars, into the determined areas, right? So this is what we started the year with. And also we started the year with the conjunction of the Sun and Saturn in the ambitious Capricorn. The conjunction was formed on the 2nd of January in the sign or that the Saturn rules, Capricorn. So it means that, you know, we have now in Capricorn, you know, we have the Sun, Saturn, Pluto, the South Node, Ketu, and Mercury will join the sign on the 5th of January. So the good part of January and also February, we will have a stellium in Capricorn. You know, the stellium is a conjunction of more than 2 elements. So these energies, Saturnian, Capricornian energies, are the energies of efficiency and this, I won't say business attitude, but entrepreneurial energy, yes. A lot of elements in the sign of Capricorn. So the Sun was in conjunction with the Saturn on the 2nd of January, and we will feel the impact of this aspect until the 10th of January. So we're still in the orb of this conjunction. So this aspect will give to our attitude to life and to our work responsibility. Will be responsible. This aspect will also create severity in our attitude. Discipline, it's a good impact, right? Discipline. We will be disciplined, and we will be concentrated enough in our creativity if you want to create in general sense of word. So as I said, until so I will talk in a while about the eclipse. So as I said, until the 4th of January, Mercury will be in Sagittarius. So we have like 2 more days to take advantage of this transit. We will meet new people easily. We may meet interesting new people, and maybe, why not, representative of foreign culture, foreigners. New encounters can happen easily and naturally. Encountering people easily, like Sagittarius. But on the 5th of January, Mercury enters Capricorn. It will be in the sign until the 23rd of January. So the position of Mercury in Capricorn makes our thinking systemic. And in our contacts and relationships, we'll be focusing on the professional side. Answers and suggestions will be concise and relevant. It will be, of course, a very good time during the conjunction Mercury Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, to think about our plans, long-term plans, and also to develop strategies, how to achieve those goals, how to reach our life goals, long-term life goals. So we will have the Saturnian energy in the 2nd, okay, let's say, today we talk about the first half of January. A lot of earth element, right? Earth element is dominating, but the situation will be complicated, destabilized by what? By 2 tense aspects. People are disturbing outside. You see, this is the life, because I mean, when I was recording, I could have cut parts. Okay, so 2 tense aspects of the Sun with the superior planet. On the 11th of January, Sun is in conjunction with Pluto, and on the 19th of January, Sun is in a square to Uranus. So during this week, between 11th and 19th of January, and a couple of days before the first aspect and a couple of days after the second aspect that I mentioned, we will experience the following tendencies and energies. Critical processes of renewal and transformation during this week. will affect in one way or another our individuality, which can cause stress. Estoy trabajando, Anita. Estoy trabajando. I'm sorry, I mean, this is incredible. That's why I liked before to record, because nobody wants to talk to me by window. So I lost my thought. So all these two tense aspects, Sun conjunction Pluto and Sun square Uranus, they can cause in ourselves, in our inner state, stress and internal resistance. Conjunction Sun Pluto on the 11th of January. The energy of the conjunction contributes to the destruction of old and obsolete forms that hinder our evolution. And in the inner life of a person, Pluto's influence can mean the collapse of the stereotypes of the past, can provoke the awareness of our mistakes of the past, and even it can provoke the disappointment in ourselves and in our life. So Pluto is a ruler of Scorpio, right? So this conjunction, and especially in the sign of Capricorn, so the mixture of earth and water elements that will have impact on us, is the first tense aspect, transformation, need for transformation, need for reconsideration of our goals and deep motivations. But the square Sun Saturn, square Sun, we see, now I'm destabilized, I cannot focus anymore. Yeah, I mean, now I mean, I cannot focus. I'm sorry. Where was? Yes, Sun square Uranus. Novelty and transformations will enter our lives even too brutally, you say, brutally, and even disharmoniously. And many people may be not ready to accept these changes, and they will not be ready to make, to accept and to make change, to realize changes in their lives. And this can lead to intense nervous state and stress, especially if you have a lot of planets, for example, in your chart in fire and no, on the contrary, if you have planets in water and earth elements, suddenly the square Sun Uranus can bring sudden changes that you won't be able to even to be aware of, and you will resist these radical changes. But we cannot resist these future cardinal changes, coming into our life. Changes that Uranus brings, they're always inevitable, and whether we want it or not, whether we accept it, I mean, regardless our position, that these changes come in our life, and we cannot avoid them. So it's useless to resist to these tendencies. Now, on the 5th of January, because for me or for Montreal, the new moon. So yeah, I mentioned two aspects of the sun after the 5th, after the eclipse, because it was like logical for me to mention that the sun is in Capricorn, and it will form two tense aspects of the superior planets after the eclipse, after the new moon. So what is going to happen on the 5th of January? Well, for me, for Montreal, it's 8:28 in the evening and PM. And I mean, for Paris, it will be for 6. The new moon will be formed. I need to calm down. I cannot focus back. 6th of January, 2:28 a.m. at night for Paris, and 4:28 at night also for Moscow. Yeah, because I was talking today to Russians and to French-speaking people. So I mentioned the day of the eclipse for their countries. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Okay, so new moon conjunction sun moon, the north node, south node Ketu in Capricorn. And as you know from my videos that I made in the past on the eclipses, especially in the videos that were so voluminous, rich in information for summer 2018, because we had very complicated eclipses on the axis Leo Aquarius, right? I said many times that the eclipses always mark the points of power of the year and the milestones of our lives, and beyond which, I mean, beyond these milestones, our lives are never the same. With eclipses, we live in an inevitable, fatal in the natural sense of word, okay, changes. And the eclipses of January 2019, this eclipse, the upcoming eclipse of solar eclipse in Capricorn, the 5th of January, is the first eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarians, right? Sorry, Cancer Capricorn, of course, since after this, since the ingression of the axis of the nodes from the axis Leo Aquarius on the axis Cancer Capricorn. I think it was in the beginning of November, right? It's like 6th of November. So the eclipses of January 2019 create an effect similar to that of closing one door and opening another door. Another new door will lead to a new type of situations and to new life experiences because of the axis where the eclipses will be formed. So the solar eclipse of January 6th, I mean 5th, in Capricorn, in the 1525 degree of Capricorn, will open a new cycle until July 2020. Eclipses will be formed on the axis Cancer Capricorn. And what is the particularity of this eclipse of January 5th? It will be formed between Saturn and Pluto, creating the effect of the conjunction of these planets. You know that Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, they will get closer to each other. They will form the conjunction by the end of the year 2019, although the exact aspects will be formed at the beginning of the next year, 2020, conjunction Pluto-Saturn. But already now, in January 2019, we can face the themes, ideas, and situations that will be indicative of what is waiting for us in 2019 and 2020, especially in politics, in the general, world economics, and on the international level, in politics especially. Because we talk about this intense stellium of so many elements that are gathering now in Capricorn, which is the sign that's responsible for politics, for all type of structures on a high level, on another scale. Of course, this stellium and the eclipse will affect your personal affairs, but only if you have important points, elements of your chart, like personal planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, also the cusps of the angular houses of your chart, ascendant, descendant, midheaven, bottom of the sky, the 4th and the 10th house, in the degrees of the point of the eclipse, plus minus 3 degrees. This is the orbit that we consider, because new moon conjunction Sun, Moon, which form conjunction with the node, or accepts the orb of 3 degrees, because for the fictitious points, the lunar node, we consider the same for Lilith, the black moon. We take the orb of 3 degrees before and after the exact aspect. Okay, and so in January we can have many ideas for new cooperations, for our business expansion. If we are, for example, if you have our business, if you are independent workers, it's also important for politicians, people who rule the world. But for you, for us, for simple people, you have to see in your chart if you have planets in Capricorn, and which degree of Capricorn, and in which house of your chart the eclipse is projected. So it means that this field of light, this sphere of life will undergo major changes after the 6 months after the eclipse. So January, February 2019 contributes to the creation of professional groups, new parties and political blocs, new corporate structures. So don't forget that the Capricorn, it's a cardinal earth sign. That's why the eclipse in Capricorn plus all this tough conjunction of this stellium of so many elements in this sign invites us to set up long-term goals, to define plans and to define strategies that will allow us to achieve these goals. No? Strategy that will help us to implement efficiently our plans. So we don't talk here just about, talking, blah, blah, blah. Hard work, hardship through hardships to the stars, right? Like Saturn requires from us. And yes, of course, you know that, you should know that because you're interested in astrology, so that's why you listen to my videos, to videos of other astrologers. If you have personal planets and the angular houses, the cusp of the angular houses of your chart, in the degree of the eclipse, 15th degree of Capricorn, of course, you will feel the impact of the eclipse, but also you have to see, we don't talk about only about Capricorn, we're talking about the cardinal cross. Other signs of the cardinal cross are also touched by the eclipse. Cancer, Aries, Libra. Right? If you have, for example, Moon in the 15th degree of Aries or Cancer, of course, the eclipse will form another tense aspect to your planet as a position or a square, but of course the conjunction is more powerful. I'm sorry, my friends, I feel so bad about this story because, okay, I'll get back to your comment because I hid the comments. I hid the comments. Oksana, well, this is like, I don't know. You're a Russian-speaking person, I imagine. I will talk here about tarot because it's not the goal, this video. I need to find focus. after the neighbor wanted to show me the dog, like she doesn't see that I'm talking, to a camera. 12 people. I'm sorry, I'm not fluent enough because of the stress. Okay, so I will get back in the end to the eclipse and to your questions. I just wanted to yeah. Yes, I just reading your. Okay, I'll get back later to your comments because I wanted to finish my aspects here. So you say I have to remember that it's a live, so maybe if something opens here. So that's why I was recording all the time in the past, because when the dog was barking, I was cutting this in the with my editing tools. Okay. What else happens on the day of the eclipse, on the 6th of January? Uranus gets direct in the 28th degree of Aries, right? You remember that it entered Taurus a couple of months ago, and then it got retrograde, so it got back to Aries, and in a couple of months, in spring, I think, I don't remember exactly when, it will, being direct, it will re-enter Taurus. So the beginning of the direct phase of Uranus can bring surprise and radical changes, of course. The energy of the hidden processes of and the hidden processes will be released. We will feel external effects of what? Of the internal changes that happened during the retrograde cycle of this planet. I will not give general advices what was the impact of this transit. You have to see by what house of your chart the retrograde Uranus was transiting, and also what house of your chart is ruled by Uranus, because the transit of Uranus retrograde as a ruler of this or that house of your chart shows you the reason of the change brought by this transit. And the real transit of Uranus by the real house of your chart, not as a ruler, you're following, right? You see what I mean? For example, it's transiting by my second house. This will show the cause of the change. We always consider the transit, especially of social and superior planets, as like in two parts, as a ruler and as a real planet transiting by the real house of your chart. And look at this gorgeous picture. Starting from this day, January 9th, because between the 6th and 9th will be still like stationary direct, still too slow, not in its normal speed. From, let's say, 9th of January until 5th of March, all the planets will be direct. They will move direct. Do you remember the summer of 2018? During the season of eclipses, there were a moment when there were 6 planets from 10 retrograde. You remember? It was just insane that things were not moving forward. Everything was moving backwards. So we have to, it's rare that nothing is retrograde. That's why it's very rare to see charts of people, you know, with not a single retrograde planet in their birth chart. There's always something retrograde, especially slow planets, right? Because they stay retrograde for months. So from January 9th until March 5th, the end of March, because I think that there was something retrograde like Mercury or something. Everything is direct, and this period offers us good opportunity to start and develop new projects. So take advantage of this period of time. What about our Venus? Until the January 8th, it will be in Scorpio. And you know that this is a weak position for Venus. It brings discord and confrontation in partnerships, in partnership exchanges. With the, having Venus and Scorpio in the birth chart and also during the transit, we seek to change the entire world according to our scenario. Yeah, we want to control, we are jealous, and we need this intense exchanges, being suspicious and not confident in ourselves and in the partner. But on January 8th, Venus enters the sign of Sagittarius. It will stay in the sign until February 3rd. And this transit, of course, will give us her, Venus, and also us, more optimism, you see, I translated the word, I don't know how to pronounce it. Condescension. More tolerance, desire to broaden our consciousness, and we'll have a philosophical attitude towards life and towards other partners. The same day, January 8th, Mercury will be in square with Mars. This is simple. It's not long-lasting transit. Conflict between two principles of Mercury and of Mars. Square Mercury-Mars will create a conflict between what? Word and action. Between our desire and our possibility to realize our ideas and plans. So there may be a tendency for rivalry and aggressiveness. Okay, our Mercury will enter Capricorn on the 5th of January, and it will form conjunction as the Sun did. Well, the Sun was in conjunction with Saturn on the 2nd of January, then it will conjunct Pluto right later. So Mercury will also, after having entered the sign of Capricorn, will conjunct Saturn and Pluto, which is logical, right? So imagine all these planets in Capricorn. It's so heavy. It's like I don't know, like water and earth element dominating. So Mercury conjunction Saturn will define the period of intense mental work requiring considerable intellectual effort. But on the 14th, Mercury will be a sextile with Pluto. Well, you know, sextile, it's an aspect that you have to activate. It doesn't work without our effort as a trine works or as a conjunction. So we have to catch the vibration of Neptune to be able to get advantage of this very creative aspect. The aspect, sextile Mercury, Neptune, what I said, Pluto, Neptune, gives a lot of intellectual inspiration. We will be creative intellectually. There is one background aspect of the entire month, you know, January 13th, Jupiter in square to Neptune. Jupiter in Sagittarius, Neptune in Pisces. The both planets are, of course, in the square in the 14th degree of the sign that I mentioned. It's a tense aspect. It will strongly distort the vision, our vision of the values of the society, and it will bring difficulties to, you know, understand the laws of nature and the laws of the world culture. We will be tempted to leave the true spiritual path. Therefore, as never before, it will be important to make a mental distinction according to the criteria of truth, and in our personal, collective, and social values, according to Jupiter, must scrupulously respect the highest human values defined by Neptune. You see, it's a very vague interpretation. But what I would like to underline here is that, of course, especially with the transits of slow planets, these background aspects where they are harmonious or tense, they will remain only background aspects if they don't touch our personal planets. If you don't have planets in the 14th degree of Sagittarius and Pisces, you will not feel this, the impact of this square. But of course, if Jupiter and Neptune conjuncts your personal planets, forming between Jupiter and Neptune, the square, of course, you will feel the impact of this square. But what is important here to mention is that if you have in your chart the square Jupiter and Neptune in other signs than Sagittarius and Pisces, the transit square Neptune Jupiter will activate your natal square. It's called the principle of resonance. Okay. Sometimes, more often, the aspects are more important than the signs. I mean, the position of planets in between them, the angles that they form, sometimes plays more important role than the position of the planets in question in the signs. Okay, and so yeah, since we're talking about very slow planets, Neptune and Jupiter, the orb of this, we will be in the orb of this background aspect during the entire month of January. What else? Venus will be in trine with Mars on January 18, and this harmonious aspect will allow us to find common language with the opposite sex, of course, build good relationships in the team, and to organize the workflow properly, because we're talking about exchanges with other people, the principle of Mars and Venus, and of course, romantic relationship, the exchanges with the opposite sex. So as I said before, Mercury will conjunct, after Mercury conjuncts Saturn, it will conjunct Pluto on January 18th, and it's extremely, you know, this it's like as if we had Mercury in Scorpio, because of course, you know, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. This transit aspect, which will activate your conjunction Mercury-Pluto if you have this conjunction in your chart. But for everybody, in any case, this transit conjunction will give our discourse, speech, and convincing force will be easy for us to influence, to have impact on other people while talking to them, to have influence over, to power over masses of people, groups of people, which makes the spirit conductive to public speaking. It's this capacity of in-depth analysis. I know somebody who has in his chart Mercury in Leo conjunction Pluto. All the stories that he tells, you know, because he has Mercury in Leo, very theatrical. He invents a lot and he forgets that he said before. But since his Mercury, okay, in Leo, but in conjunction with the Pluto, sometimes when he thinks about me, for example, I can feel it. I have a headache because of this, of the Pluto. It's an affliction. Conjunction with Pluto, it's an affliction, of course. And to end, you know, to finalize this, because it was a bit spoiled, in my opinion. On January 20th, the Sun enters Aquarius, and I would like to say happy birthday to all Aquarius and to myself also, because I have my birthday on the 24th of January. So of course, this transit by this sign, the transit of the Sun by the sign of Aquarius during 1 month will emphasize our consciousness, the you know, this inspiration, aspiration for the future, crazy ideas. Openness to novelty, ability to cooperate equally with other people in groups of people in the society. And of course, the transit will accentuate our need and the capacity to serve society, humanity, in the name of the common good. So I will go live on the 24th of January on my birthday with the tarot cards readings for all. It will last for 48 hours. You will have possibility. You will have 2 days to send me messages in exchange to an obligatory but a symbolic contribution. Okay, so but I will prepare something. Will go live before the 21st of January, before the lunar eclipse. So this was my first time. I considered that well, I don't know now. Maybe I have to go back to recorded videos, but well, no. It's this format allows me to save my time. I'm sorry if it was a little bit. Yeah, I was disturbed. So look, this was what I wanted to tell you briefly. Let me see if you have questions. Maybe something specific. Maybe you'd like to ask me something specific. Well, when you put, listen guys, you put too many information, I cannot focus, I cannot imagine 11 degrees of this and that. I would like you to ask me. Yes, I noticed, yes, one thing. You know, for example, for me, this solar eclipse conjunction Sun-Moon node will be in the 12th house. But the next eclipse, lunar eclipse, you see, we will have the Sun in Aquarius and Moon in Leo, but the nodes they are already on the axis Cancer Capricorn, right? So, but even though the nodes are in Cancer Capricorn, we call the upcoming lunar eclipse the lunar eclipse in Leo, because we refer to the position of the Sun and the Moon in the signs, not of the nodes. Okay, so the eclipse of the 21st of January, for example, is projected into my axis of the house 6 and 12, but it's very close to the ascendant and the descendant. So I feel the impact to come to once again hit the last time. The very last time will hit my ascendant and the descendant, even if it happens on the side of the 6th and the 12th house. Okay, you understand? Yes, and the solar eclipse sits in conjunction is the beginning of the new month. It's a new moon, so it's projected into one specific house. So you can make your plans create, to visualize what you want to achieve during the next lunar month, during the next 6 months until the next season of eclipses, and for the next 18 years and a half. Okay. During the lunar eclipse, it's a full moon, opposition sun moon, all of us will be in front of a choice, because the axis of the sun moon, Rahu Ketu, is projected on the axis of on the axis of houses, on two opposite houses, right? So you'll be brought to decide regarding two opposite houses. You will find yourself in a situation that you will force you to decide in which direction to go. For example, house 1-7, whether you privilege your own needs, you have this healthy egoism, right? Or you focus on the needs of the partner. Look, Vertex, I will tell you one thing. I consider that there are so many more important things to focus on about the main 10 planets, about, okay, let's say Node, Lilith, and we have to focus on the major aspects. For example, if you talk about aspects, conjunction, opposition, square, sextile, trine. If we start, taking our time focusing on minor aspects, karmic aspects, and on the asteroids, everything is important in the analysis, but we have to focus, this is my opinion, on, to be honest, I haven't even studied Vertex in depth, before to analyze, Pluto, Vertex, or Chiron, we have to understand what should be done if we have the afflicted moon in our birth chart. This is more important, because the afflicted moon doesn't allow us to have peaceful life, a peace of mind. Because we don't know how to adapt to the environment. You don't know how to listen to our intuition. So there are so many things to do, before to take care about secondary parameters for me. Yes, for example, another thing, yes. For example, the point of the eclipse is in conjunction, especially conjunction with your planet in Capricorn. We have to consider the projection of the eclipse and the conjunction with your planet in the house. So new life in this sphere of life, new scenario. But also, if your personal planet is engaged in the conjunction, you have to see what house is ruled by this planet. We always consider the planet as the element of the house and as the ruler of the house. The planet that receives the transit in conjunction. Okay. I have nothing, just ascendant descendant for this time, but in the second half of the year, this year, in July, my Mercury in Capricorn will receive the eclipse of the summer 2019. And Mercury rules the 5th house, the house of children. So we will see. What else, my friends? If some of you have questions about tarot, you see when I will go live on the 24th with the tarot readings, you can ask questions about cards, maybe something about the eclipses. How do they work? No, Oksana, I will ask you in another video about the... Yeah, you see, Ascendant Leo, yes, since Ascendant received the eclipses of the past year, of course, it's not easy. First house. Some of you may leave maybe the return of the nodes to the natal position, Rahu Ketu. The cycle of the karmic program. Life will test you, whether you're accomplishing your karmic program in the right way. Yes, you see what operation. it's not good. I mean, unless Persephone, are you here? It's not good unless it's inevitable, but it's never good to, you know, to undertake very important, you know, actions and decisions like operations, getting married, moving, buying real estate, buying diamonds, selling real estate, not during the eclipses. Because whatever you do during the season of eclipse, especially between the two eclipses, right, in the corridor, you won't be able to change the consequences of these decisions taken. So that's why people who were born during the eclipse, very close to the eclipse, like, yeah, even during the entire season, because it means that the natal sun or the moon or the both are in conjunction with the nodes. They are fatalists. They cannot decide for their life in the same degree. They don't have the margin of maneuver, you know, as other people who were not born during the eclipse. It's a very interesting subject. So I think that this is it for today. I have to prepare my suitcase because I go to Nicaragua tomorrow. I disappear during 4 days. And I wish you once again Happy New Year, unless you want to ask me something else. So anyway, I will be back before the 21st and on the 24th. Yeah, it was the first time because I was very nervous how it will go, how will I manage the you know. And now it's night, so during the day there was a daylight, so I was more comfortable. And now you see there's the lamp, and the neighbor wanted to show me the dog because she saw that I'm inside. And I have to respond in Espanol, in Spanish. Bon voyage. Sí. Muchas gracias. Happy New Year. And the next time it will be different. Now I know what to do, how to do, and how not to do. Yes. So take care of yourself. And the next video I think will be more interesting because it will be complicated, the lunar eclipse. And yeah. Yes, sorry for the day. I'm not comfortable. Well, this is life. This is life of the life. Okay, thank you for your attention. Still, you are still, you know, how many? 12 people here. 14. Okay. So wait for my announcements of the new upcoming videos. I will always create events in advance to announce you the exact day and time. Okay. So Happy New Year. Evharistopoli. I know a couple of words in Greek. Evharistopoli. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye, bye, bye. Have a nice end of the week.